is. Just your dragon power. Oh, wrong button. There we go.
Oh, fun.
Nice. Oh, did I burn him? Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Oh, sorry.
No,
I burned his mule.
Santa mad.
Hey everybody, welcome to Let's Play. Today we're going to be playing some Elden Ring, and we're going to be playing as a character from House of the Dragon. I know we're both pretty excited about the new season coming up.
Yeah, I've been doing a lot of rewatching, a lot of rereading of some of the passages from Fire and Blood, trying to figure out what's coming up, so it'll be good.
Yeah, same here. And just a quick note about spoilers, we're going to be talking about House of the Dragon Season 1. And probably we might go into like Game of Thrones too, because I know we both like. Yeah.
I thought it would be fun to sort of try to make a Daemon Targaryen that is like character, because I do think he has such a complex role in this story. And I think also like even some things with like his fighting style, like I know you obviously get into like a lot of like sword-based combat, but then it also, you know, of course he also is a dragon rider, so then there's sort of like a little bit of like magic and like mysticism there. So I think he'd be a fun one. What do you think?
Yeah, no, I love Daemon. He's a very cool character. I think he's known to be like a pretty good fighter. I know he has like a famous sword. I think his sword is called like Dark Sister, right? It's like a Valyrian.
Do you know who the original owner of Dark Sister was?
I think I do, yeah. It was one of Aegon the Conqueror's sisters, right? Is it
Sister
Visenya?
Wives, yes.
Oh, nice. I think his armor is probably like black, but it, you know, he might have like goldish armor too at some point.
Yeah, I think it's like it's known to be like pretty ornate.
I feel like the Confessor might be okay to start. We can find more stuff throughout the game, but
Let's
at least
make him an astrology girly.
As far as what he looks like, do we want to go full Matt Smith, or do we want to like take some artistic liberty?
Are there any major differences between the way that the character is described in either Fire and Blood or even in like the Rogue Prince than what is portrayed on the show?
There's not a lot of descriptions like, oh, he has a narrow jaw and a pointed nose and things like that. So I think that's partially what's cool about the book. It leaves a lot of areas open to interpretation. As far as his personality, I think the extent of what they say when they introduce him is he's moody, he's kind of like impetulant, but he's also like can be like very charismatic and charming. So I definitely think Matt Smith captures that in his performance. All right, yeah, we want to go. Maybe this guy is a good starting point. Well, first we gotta fix that hair. Let's see his hair. I think this will
root darkness. Oh my god.
Yeah, you can get pretty.
Well, now he's
a
wrestler, so there's that.
This is interesting. This is like the Stannis Baratheon right here.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a nice. He's trademarked that in Widow's Peak.
Now he's a little lad. There was one where it was like a little half up, half down.
It's kind of like maybe like a battle haircut.
Yeah, it's like a little more like stylized.
Yeah,
I think
more pragmatic than stylish. All right. Yeah, because in the books it's kind of described as like silvery, right? Yeah, but in the show it's very. I mean, we could talk about the wigs in the show. That's a whole thing.
They're figuring it out. Poor Lenora. That child was 75% wig.
Yeah, because in the show it definitely feels like more blondish, like platinum blonde.
Yeah.
I feel like.
Yeah.
All right. We can control the luster. Give him that nice Pantene sheen.
Wow, that feels like silver to me. We're getting somewhere.
There you go. Yeah, his eyebrows, I feel like they're too bushy.
I think that's just Matt Smith's face.
It does kind of look like him, right? Because he has the deep set eyes.
Yeah, I honestly think that's it. I don't think you need to do anything else there with those eyebrows.
I feel like in the book they do say that their eyes are like purplish.
Yes,
right?
I was getting ready to say that's like one thing I remember specifically, because it's not just the Targaryens. It's sort of like all of the lines from like old Valyria. So even the Valyrians like also have those like really intense purple eyes.
How we feeling about this? Anything else you want to change?
Yeah,
does he feel Daemonish? Daemonlicious?
I wouldn't want to run into this man in an alley, so I feel like we've done a good job.
He's scary, but I could also see him like turning on the charm. I feel like he looks a little too jacked.
Right?
Yeah, we could tone that down. Now he's got like a dad bod.
I mean, he's a father of 4.
That is true.
Is he not?
All right.
Let's do it.
Let's jump in. I should take off his hood so we could see.
Yeah.
There we go. Looks a
I was
little
like,
better.
yeah, let the man's hair be.
Feel that breeze. There is an item in this game that's kind of like an Easter egg to Game of Thrones.
Oh, fun.
But of course, since this game is very notorious for being difficult, you do have to beat a pretty hard boss to get it.
You think we're going to do that today?
That's what we're going to hope to do.
One of the things that I've been finding really interesting on this rewatch is this idea that obviously, like, you know, he's accounted for a lot of this history and what happens behind. Like, he builds these, like, really, really mapped out worlds chronologically. So it's really interesting that, you know, he's built this, or that this show has been built by these writers and by the showrunner, Miguel Sapochnik, where you sort of have this story where if you've read, you know, Fire and Blood or even, like, you know, a wiki page or whatever, like, you sort of know where this is going and how this ends. But they do such a good job in the writing of keeping you on your, like, you know, like on the edge of your seat still. And I was, like, wondering, like, what you sort of thought about that. And as someone who sort of has read a lot of Fire and Blood, like, what about sort of telling the story in the middle? Like, you know where we start, you know where we end, has been, like, really interesting to you?
Yeah, I think this must have been like a really fun book to adapt.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times with adaptations, you have all this pressure because it's a very concrete, crystallized story.
Yep.
And there's specific scenes that people are like really looking forward to seeing an on-screen adaptation. But this book is like very unique because, like, as you know, it's more like a high-level retelling of history.
Yes.
And there's not really like specific scenes. I mean, there's battles, but even those don't get into like minute detail. Mm-hmm. So I feel like as a screenwriter, as like a showrunner, this must have been like really fun because most of the time when you're adapting like a book, you're streamlining things, you're like figuring out what to edit out mm-hmm. and how to like consolidate things. Whereas with this adaptation, I feel like it was more like, oh, what can we add? How do we like flesh it out?
Yeah.
And I think they did a really good job because there's so many like really good scenes, like all those conversations between like Viserys and Rhaenyra, mm-hmm. or even Viserys and Daemon. Like none of that is in the book. You get like overall sentiments, but you don't get like dialogue and blocking and all this stuff. So I think they did like a really, really good job of really like building the relationship of Viserys and those other two characters.
Yeah. And I even think like it's a testament to how the book is written because like you're saying, like not only do you not get specific scenes, like what you do get is all hearsay because it's all from the perspective of Maester, is it, I'm going to say it wrong, it starts with a G.
Yeah, it's like Gilland. I forget. I know what you're talking about there.
Yeah, because it's right here. Give me a
It's like
sec.
Gildane, right?
Yes,
Gildane?
exactly what it is.
Something like
Gildane.
that. Yeah. I think what we should do next is we should go grab our horse.
Oh yeah, love that.
And then the other thing I forgot to do is we picked up like an item called the Golden Seed, which like
you did say
helps us. It gives us more of these like healing. Yeah,
okay.
You see these like tiers I have. The red tier is healing my health.
Oh, okay.
So it's good to have like more of those. So if we go to a site of grace, that will give us an opportunity to upgrade our flask. But since we wanted to like add more of a challenge to this, mm-hmm. every time we want to use any kind of upgrade in the game, one of us has to answer a Game of Thrones House of the Dragon trivia question.
Oh boy.
So let's go to the site of grace here. And yeah. So if we want to update our flask, we have to
talk to Santa Claus. Who
we
was
have to
that
go
man?
ahead and he's like a merchant. He's just selling some things.
That man is Santa Claus. Argue with
I don't
the
think
wall.
he's selling anything particularly useful right now. He might have like a torch, which is kind of useful, which I can grab. Yeah, I'll just grab the torch for now.
Was his name Kale?
Kale, I think, is how you pronounce it.
Kale.
He's a vegan. Cool. All right. So yeah. So you'll see when I'm resting at grace, I can do like a few things. So
fun.
if we want to update our flask, though, we have to get a trivia question right. If we get it wrong, we're not allowed to upgrade our character. One category is House of the Dragon family tree.
Oh boy.
So what you have to do is guess who the missing character is.
Oh god. Okay, so it's one of Corlys and Rhaenys children. So if it's and who is also married to Daemon. So it's Lenora.
Is that your final answer?
Yeah.
Lenora?
Is that not her name?
Ooh,
Lena. Am I wrong? Okay, fine. All right. Then no class.
Charlotte has ruled in. It does not
class.
count. Now, we do get a chance to like get another try for a different question if we find another site of grace.
Right.
If you do want to like try once more. I think there actually is if there is another site of grace close by, we can go. One of the items I wanted to get is this thing that gives you like fire negation damage because I feel like part of the Targaryen lore, I think it's not 100% clear, but I know like Daenerys is supposedly like not immune to fire, right? Because she's called the Unburnt.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's like a Targaryen thing.
That's a good point, because obviously, like, this is the most that we've seen any Targaryens in...
Yeah, in one spot, yeah.
In one spot, and yeah, that's not... I mean, they've come, like, other abilities, like, obviously, the dragon riding and the dreaming and the...
You'd think they'd be at least okay with fire.
That hasn't
riding
come back up.
Dragons. Yeah, and I feel like there's even a moment in the show where Daemon says something like... Or maybe it's like Rhaenyra's mother where she's in like a bath and she's saying like,
maybe
the heat's not supposed to bother you or something like that. I forget.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's here's another site of grace, so we can give another get another go to try and unlock the flask.
But what's interesting is, okay, with Lena,
just
holding a grudge there for forever, all of the dragon riders, a dragon rider's death is to be burned alive.
Yeah, you're right. That doesn't really add up, does it? Yeah, I don't think they're supposed to be immune to fire. That wouldn't make sense. Maybe a proclivity for fire. All right, so if you want to give me a trivia question now, I could see if maybe I could give us a flask.
All right, so Jonathan is going to be playing a little game called Name That Sigil today.
Oh, nice.
This is your first sigil.
Oh, God. I don't think I've ever seen that before. That's like super complicated, too. It's 3 claws and a
You're
talk
allowed
to the hand.
exactly 1 hint. So think...
I have no idea. This is this house in House of the Dragon?
Big time.
They are?
Mm-hmm.
All right. I know it's not. I know who it's not. I know it's not obviously Targaryen. It's not Hightower, I don't think. Or is it Hightower? The Hand? I know it's not Lannister. All right, I'm going to get... Oh, sorry.
Do you want a hint?
Yeah, lay it on me.
One of the members of this house serves as Hand of the King at some point in this period in history.
Okay, I'm gonna guess. It's good that you said that because I think it was who I was gonna guess anyway.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say House Strong.
There you go.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
All right, we unlocked a tier. I mean, a tier, Crimson tier. One thing you could also do in this game is like allocate how many. So the blue ones are for like magic, and the red ones are for health. But we're probably not gonna use magic, at least not yet. So I'm gonna just put everything towards health.
All right.
Oh, here my torch will come in handy. Let me equip that since it's a little dark in here. One of the things I was thinking about is like Westeros traditions that we should incorporate into modern society.
Okay.
And one of the ones I was thinking of is like we should bring back sigils. Like I feel like every family should have their own logo.
Oh my God, my family is like on about this right now, and
really?
I keep telling, we don't have to do this on camera, but yeah, they're like really into having a family crest, and I'm like,
that is a great idea.
For what and for why?
Well, see, now I have a lot of follow-up questions. So
maybe
is there like a governance committee that decides on what you go with?
Unfortunately, Charlotte's shaking her head off camera because she knows that there is, because my family's insane. There in fact is.
So what are some of the ideas they're throwing around?
I don't know if we've gotten that far. And I don't know what they want it for either. I think people have floated different designs in the group chat, and usually there's like a king or a queen on it, and then some sort of like bountiful harvest, which like,
wow,
what does that mean? We're from Hartford. What does that mean?
Yeah, I want to know the epistemology. Is that word?
I don't know, man.
I just died again. Hopefully I can kill this thing. It's hard to talk and play at the same time. That's my excuse.
I'll let you have it.
So are you weighing in on this at all? Like, do you have strong opinions?
No, I will not. I just don't want it. I've said so many times that I don't want it.
Well, I hope they finish it, and I want to see the final result.
Right.
But I think they're on the right track, though. I think all families should have their own sigil.
So what would be on your crest? What would be on the Messina crest?
Probably 2 people arguing over what to set a thermostat at.
That's fair. That's fair.
Or at the dinner table, something contentious. Oh God, this thing he's unruly.
All right, what is this, man? I think there's a lot more like undeadedness about this game than I understood that there was.
Yeah, there's very much like the lore of this game is sort of like a goddess is making death kind of like not a thing anymore.
Yeah.
But then there are others that sort of steal the rune of death, and then they like kind of like unlock death into the world.
Okay, so what side are we on? We like death, we hate
So
death.
we're called like a tarnished, which is basically like this warrior that served the queen, and then eventually they got exiled.
I mean, that's very Daemon-like.
That is true.
It not?
Yeah.
Is
He's
it
like
not?
a wayward prince kind of thing.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And this is like the moment where we've been like called back, and the gold like things are supposed to kind of like, oh god.
Okay, so this is Daemon like post exile. I don't know which of his exiles.
Yeah, this is
One
his
of
like
his
return.
exiles.
Yeah, he's had a few.
They keep trying to get rid of him, and he keeps coming back.
Oh god, he's almost dead. Come on. Oh no, he's doing his berserker attack. Come on. Oh, thank God. Whew. All right, got our first boss out of the way. And as you see, we got a talisman.
Ooh. That looks
So
like a
that's
sickle.
that thing that makes you partially more resistant to fire.
We love that.
Now, because that's an upgrade,
We love that in a Dragon Prince.
Because it's an upgrade, if we want to equip it, we have to pass another trivia.
All right.
So my next category
I'm feeling good.
is, I'm calling it Westogesser,
Oh, boy.
which is, there's a
God.
mark on the map of Westeros, and you have to tell us
Jonathan.
what place it is.
The worst thing about me. I'm not good at... What if I tell you other places? What if I tell you that's Dorne? Do I get points for that?
I'm sorry, you have to point out the red star.
No. I don't know anything about like
Well,
the
I will
okay,
say
there's a
that.
wait.
Yeah, talk it out. Talk it through. You can do
Okay.
this. You can do this.
Because that's
So-
the...
Yeah, go for it.
I can see a scene in my head where they're like in the fort and then you see a castle in the distance, and what would that be? I'm just gonna... I know this can't be right, but is it King's Landing? Is that... No, that's not...
Yeah.
Is it?
Ding, ding, ding.
Woo!
Good job. Look at that. See? Yeah, it's right in the bay, right?
Right. Yeah. That's what I thought, and then I was like, "There's no way that that's
Yeah.
right." But
Gotta
here
give
we are.
yourself more credit.
All right.
All right, nice. So
right.
you got that right. So now we can equip our talisman. It's gonna give us boost fire negation. There you go. Does it have a little dragon? I can't really tell what that.
We can say it's
sigil is,
dragon.
yeah. All right. So next thing I thought we can get is a horse, because
Okay.
hoofing it back and forth in this game. This game's very large, so
Sure. That's
getting
fair.
a little a steed to expedite our travels is useful.
Love that. As I can't travel by dragon, travel by horseback. That's fine.
But yeah, so in this game, there's, like I said, there's that goddess Marika, and she's kind of like a Christ-like figure. She's sort of like an envoy for this larger god
Okay.
called like the Outer Will. And that god is responsible for this giant tree. You see that giant tree there?
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of like...
Oh, it kind of looks like the gods would. No?
Oh, yeah, a little bit. Yeah,
No?
it has
Look
that
at me.
that
Look at me
color
making
spectrum.
connections.
So yeah, when you rest at this grace, there's like a cutscene, because also the other thing in this game is when you're like, since you're being like summoned back,
Okay.
there's supposed to be this thing called a finger maiden, which is supposed to be like your guide.
What's with
but-
the fingers?
Yeah, it is interesting. But for some reason, when we woke up, we didn't have a maiden, so
Finger
we were kind of
maidens.
maidenless. So this person right here, her name's Melania. She's kind of like offering to be your maiden, even though she's not really a maiden. So it's she's kind of a little sus. But she is going to serve as a maiden, and some of the things she can do is she can like help us level up, and she also gives us our horse.
I don't like her.
You don't? You're not feeling her? All right, now since we did beat that boss, we have some runes that we can use to level up. But since that's another upgrade, we have to pass a trivia test.
All right.
So
Or we're gonna do. I want you to tell me who said what quote.
all right,
Hand turning loom, spool of green, spool of black, dragons of flesh weaving dragons of thread.
it sounds like a poem. I'm trying to think like under what
So-
circumstances would someone say that?
You know
And
what's
who?
poem like? Prophecies are poem like. They're poetic in nature.
Is there a... Oh, wait. Is it Viserys?
You're on the right track, as he is, or he fashions himself as a prophesizer. But it was, in fact, his daughter, Helena.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, because she's always speaking in riddles and prophecy. Oh, okay, that makes a lot more sense.
Well,
these are hard.
All
right, no level up.
All right.
Maybe next time.
There's 2 prophesizers. You just picked the wrong one. He was real close.
Yeah, I just didn't want to think about it too long, I didn't feel great about it. I think I went with Viserys because he talks about and that's another thing in the show that we could talk about is how they really bring up the prophecy.
Yeah.
Like the prince that was promised prophecy. So I thought maybe it had something to do with that, but
that
I didn't feel great about it though.
Yeah.
Didn't feel good about that guess.
Well, what's funny is I think of with his character is, and especially I can speak to this more maybe in the show than I can in the books, and maybe you can jump in. Is what I think about is interesting about Viserys is I think he's really bad at his job. Not as king, but I know he, for instance, he talks about how he stopped dragon riding because he wanted to be a dreamer, because he thought dragon riders were brash and whatever. And he really was so inspired by the prophecies that essentially led his family out of Old Valyria that he always also wanted to be a prophesizer. And so again, carrying the dagger with the prophecy of Azor Ahai or any of those other things, but even he would say I'd have one dream and then I'd never have it again, and then even to the point of him really misreading, or I guess the finale was more Alicent misreading his prophecy, but really looking sort of and trying to shape history based on those dreams when often they were really, really incorrect.
The show did some interesting things because I wonder if they're gonna do more with the prophecy than him just that one tragic bit of irony at the end where he's talking about the prophecy and then Alicent thinks he's talking about Aegon.
Yeah.
I hope they do more with it because that is an interest. I understand why they added it because they want to tie it to Game of Thrones a little bit more. Yeah, but I think one thing that is interesting about the show, and I know it's a point of discussion, is who do you root for? Team black, team green kind of thing. Mm-hmm. And I feel the show, one of my critiques of the show is that I feel they vilify the greens a little too much. At least from my perspective.
Interesting.
I think it makes them a lot harder to root for. And I think in the book it's a little bit more presented as just this overall tragedy that you're not really supposed to root for anyone.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm interested what you think about that.
That's really...
Do you have a rooting interest? Or?
I mean, I think I think we've been indoctrinated a little bit to sort of be very connected to the Targaryens and their interests, and so I guess it wasn't even a question to me that even though they are anti-heroes, they still are, to feel more connected to Rhaenyra and Daemon even when they are doing terrible things. I do wonder if that changes in a second season. There's a part of me that feels that's going to... That
is true, yeah.
Come into a bit more balance very soon. But I do think there are pieces where, I don't know, Alicent's gotten, a pretty shit deal. Having to, marry this very old man at 15 years old and, produce his children, and then, even, and, not really having a say about the way that her life goes, but sort of becoming this protective motherly figure. And even with the whole eye for an eye, or with Aemon, and sort of feeling sort of powerless to protect her loved ones based on sort of the hierarchy of the world that she inhabits.
Yeah, I think they have a lot of opportunity to soften her up, because I think part of the problem with her character was that once they jumped to the older versions of Alicent and Rhaenyra, I feel maybe the first 4 or 5 scenes you see Alicent, she's she's either being awful to Viserys or like being awful to Rhaenyra, and it's like very hard to like wipe that away from like that impression off, I think. So I think they do have some work to do to like make you more sympathetic towards her. But yeah, I think based on the source material, there's definitely opportunities to do that.
Yeah,
the other thing I think is interesting that the show added was in the show they made Alicent and Rhaenyra like childhood friends, but that's not the case in the book.
What was their relationship?
It's not fully described like before Alicent marries Viserys, but once that happens, they're always described as being acrimonious towards each other.
Okay.
So I think that was a good addition by the show because obviously it adds more like tension and there's like opportunity to, I guess, like, you know, mend the relationship now. So I'm curious if the show is going to do that, if they're going to have like opportunities where they like maybe become a little bit more sympathetic towards each other, because right now they're definitely at each other's throats. So I wanted to talk to this guy because he has, as you can see, very fancy armor.
Oh, yeah.
Befits a Targaryen, I think.
Yeah, how do we get his armor?
Unfortunately, the only way to get it is to kill him.
Yeah, let's do it.
So I think that's definitely a Daemon move.
Yeah, let's do it.
So
he wouldn't think
he's
twice.
not going to suspect it right away, but after a few smacks of the sword, he's going to get angry.
I love that he gives you the benefit of the doubt for like a little bit too long.
I know, I got like, I want to say like 75.
Oh
yeah, oh God. He is a little tricky, so hopefully I can kill him without dying.
All right, so what was that thing that he just did?
I think he summoned like a buff on himself. I don't know exactly what it does. It probably just like powered, oh my God.
Oh.
Jesus, he has a pretty heavy sword. Oh, no, don't let him pray. All right. Oh, no, he's praying. I don't know what it does, but it can't be good. I think it just makes his like attack power.
I think he healed
I think he
himself.
adds like, oh no. Oh.
Yeah.
He summoned the wind.
Whee.
Yeah, I think it adds like some kind of like either lightning or holy to his sword that just
okay.
makes him hit a little harder.
Well.
We'll try again. I think we could take him out.
All right.
I really like that armor though. But yeah, what did you think of like the show's use of time jumps?
I think it was. I think it depends on where you're coming from, right? Because I think there are two audiences for, or like I sort of like bucket the two audiences of this. There we go.
It's that wind attack.
Oh no. But I think I sort of like bucket the two audiences of like, you know, you have Game of Thrones fans who are sort of like watching the story play out as this is like sort of a continuation of this beloved TV show.
Yeah.
Or you have, you know, people who again have this history of fire and blood, or even like of the, you know, the Song of Ice and Fire series, and then are like sort of looking to have those sort of like gaps filled in to their knowledge. What was your original question?
The time jumps.
Oh, okay. And so I think that it plays differently depending on which one of those audiences you are, because I remember watching the show originally before I had like read any of Fire and Blood or done sort of any like research into the background. And I think it was a little disconcerting because I was like sort of having to catch up, and it's like it's the typical like sort of like Game of Thrones thing where it's like there's all of these names and then you know, all of these connections, and again like their family tree is like a circle, and so you're trying to keep up, and then you like flash 10 years in the future, and I can't even use the visual signifiers to sort of keep track. But I think having gone back since initially watching the show now, and having read more and having done more research and having like a really strong footing in the series, and like I think I have a better understanding, and I appreciate sort of that artistic choice more. But again, of course, that took a lot more work on my part, so it really depends how much you want to work for it.
This guy is really waxing me. Might need to power up before I can go back.
Yeah, I was like, maybe he just keeps close. I don't know.
Yeah, might have to let him live this time. We'll be back, sir. Yeah, I think for me, I did find them a little bit jarring, but I also don't know if they could have did it without them,
Yeah.
just because of like the nature of the
So
story.
much.
Because
There's
they
so
would have
much
had to like
history.
write
Yeah.
more scenes, and
Yeah.
that might have been like a challenge.
Yeah.
I think for like there were a couple of moments where I thought I would have liked to see a little bit more of like what happened in between. I think the big one for me was like right when Viserys marries Alicent. I think that's like how the episode ends. And then the next episode, like Alicent already has like 2 kids, and it's like 3 years later or something. And you never really get a scene where you like see what Rhaenyra thought of that, or like what. Like it's assumed that their relationship was strained after that, but you don't really get any scenes to describe that.
Yeah.
I think I could have used like a couple of scenes to see that.
Sure.
And
Yeah, it's an interesting balance, right? Because it's like if we're still trying to keep true to the intent of the source material, there's not a lot of those sort of like inner dialogue pieces that you can get, because it all has to be like, there has to be a witness. So like even for instance, like, okay, so the wedding of Rhaenyra and Daemon, right?
Yeah.
So there was a maester present, even though it was like sort of this like clandestine ceremony. It's like there always has to be someone present to witness what's happening, so that in this world they then could go tell the maester who was writing Fire and Blood. So it's like those sort of like, yeah, the way that, but I guess maybe it could have been even her talking to like Lenore or something, to sort of like maybe get more of a, I guess, read on what her feelings about that situation was. But it's like the writing of the show is really, really interesting, and like sort of trying to keep true to that initial intent.
I'm going to try and take out this boss right here to give us level up. This guy's like called a Mariner, and they're supposed to be like...
He rhymes.
They're basically always around when there's like dead zombies hanging out. Oh, he disappeared.
Well, he's gone.
So he's going to summon some skeletons. But this is more just trying to get some leveling up so we can maybe beat that guy and get his funky armor.
Okay.
Also, there's another cool looking sword. I think that might be something that might be more Daemon brand.
All right.
This guy's thankfully a pretty easy boss. I say that now, but he's probably going to kill me. Ah.
Oh.
So yeah, I like this game because you could fight on feet, but then you could also just fight from your sword, from your horse or whatever this thing is. Ah.
It's like I'm not really sure what that is. I'm going to be super honest with you.
So, are there any other Game of Thrones or Westeros customs that you want to bring back to the real world beside your family's crest
and I don't even
nomination?
I don't even want to do that.
It's got like a...
I think. Is there like something dragon related? I like a feast. I think I could get into a joust. I could just go to a Rin Fair though.
That's what I was thinking. I like the fact that all these kind of ceremonies, like weddings and births, they accompany with
like
some
a
competition.
tourney.
Yeah,
like I want to get married,
like.
And then I want there to be a tourney.
Yeah, like I would love to get married and then like have like a basketball tournament right after or something, or even just like
Be
poker.
so tired.
This guy's almost dead. Ooh, all right, nice. All right, that'll give us some.
You did it.
Some levels, some saucy levels.
Oh, that's funny.
So I got some spirits. So those are things I could like summon.
We love that.
Drop down.
We love
here
to
too. I
summon
think
a
there's
spirit.
another spot to get some more levels. Oh, there we go. See those graves? They have these like runes.
Whee!
So runes are like the currency in this game. There's
Okay.
this. The Elden Ring is like this collection of like runes that kind of like govern sort of like the laws of the universe in a way. So it controls like life and death, like gravity, magic, all these kind of things. And the Elden Ring eventually gets shattered. So that goddess I was telling you about,
Sure.
one of her offsprings gets killed. And after that happens, she shatters the Elden Ring.
Okay.
But and then everything kind of turns to shit, and that's kind of like
So
the
are
world
we
we're living in
attempting
now.
to piece it back together?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Right.
So there's all these like rune fragments that are scattered about, and they kind of power you up. So this little witch person,
She's
is,
cute.
yeah, I like her. She's got some good drip, and 4 hands. She gave me a bell that I can use to summon those spirits, so I can definitely that'll help us in our our quest. One final power we can maybe try to get before we attempt that final boss is there's this thing called like there's dragon powers in this game.
Okay.
So
I mean, that makes sense.
That seems
Get our
very
boys
on
from
brand
yeah,
for
like,
Targaryen.
get our boys from dragon powers.
So there's a cave somewhere down here. There we go.
So can we actually have? Can you have a dragon in this game? Like, could we have a like? Could, for instance, like I obviously not right now, but could like Daemon have like his own like Caraxes?
No, we can fight a big dragon if you want to see what they look like. It will probably kill me very fast.
Okay.
I
don't know.
But the dragon powers in this game, they're kind of like magic, where you like briefly summon like the head of a dragon, it breathes fire, and then it kind of goes away.
That's fun.
It's basically like an attack.
Okay.
So that's what I could try to unlock now.
Whee.
So yeah, we're heading down to the beach. Were there any characters from the books, either Game of Thrones or House of the Dragon, that you would have liked to see in the show that they didn't include?
I'm gonna need to think about that for a moment. We might have to return to that.
I think you already mentioned one I was thinking of, because you mentioned like since the book is told in like a narrative nonfiction style where it's like piecing together primary sources and like accounts from all these different maesters and septons and things like that. I like how the book is written because it gives you like a handful of possible outcomes.
Yes.
And you as the reader have to try and like figure out, okay, what am I going to believe? Because
exactly.
like, the septon said this, so-and-so said this. And I think it's interesting with the show because they obviously have to pick a side, basically.
Sure.
At least in most cases.
Yeah.
So I'm curious like how that process happened. Did they get like sign off from George R. R. Martin? Was he like, oh, this is actually what happened? Or did they just kind of give their own interpretation?
I mean, I see what you're saying, but also I would argue in certain places they do a good job of still keeping things. So obviously there are things where, for instance, like in Fire and Blood, like that wedding to Daemon and Rhaenyra, that is not explicitly, that was hearsay. So there are some things that they actually like, confirm into canon. Yeah. But one of the things that I think is really interesting, so for instance, like Daemon and like his whole like heir for a day quip, right?
Yeah.
In the episode 1, he never says it. It's like, again, it's like a hearsay.
It's implied, right? Yeah,
it's implied. But
it's not. I'm sorry, it's not implied that he said it, but it's like, like you said, it's just like a rumor,
But in the show, it also is because it's like, I think they have. Is it the White Worm or it's like reporting back to Otto Hightower that he says it, but the words are never spoken by Matt Smith.
That's a good way of doing that. Yeah, I think.
So it
leaves that ambiguity.
Exactly.
Still,
So I do think, and of course, like you have to take perspective in some places, but I do think they do take care where they can to not necessarily make things so cut and dry, which is really, I mean, that's such a task in writing like this.
These like goblin creatures, they're called like demi-humans. Back.
Well, I mean, we're in their house.
Back, you fiend. Yeah, but just going back to, I guess, that long-winded response I gave was trying to say that I do kind of wish they'd have Mushroom.
Yeah.
Somehow
okay, that's where you were going. Got it. Yes. Yeah.
He's basically like Viserys's like court fool, right?
Yes.
And I like how they describe it in the book is that like everyone thinks he's like a simpleton, so they don't mind like when he's around, when he overhearing all these like really secretive things, and that's kind of his reasoning for like why he knows all this stuff. And I love how they frame him. I was like, there's like normal takes, and then there's like the mushroom take, which is always like the most scandalous. I thought that would have been cool if they tried to incorporate him in the show somehow. Maybe we'll see him eventually. Maybe they'll have him show up in some other capacity. All right, getting through this cave. Now, so in this game, you can kind of like summon people to help for like tough boss fights.
Okay.
But I feel like since this is like
someone,
an upgrade.
Oh, is that, did we summon this man?
We can summon this person right here. He's got
I like his armor. Can we have his armor?
Unfortunately, probably not.
Okay.
But I feel like since this is like gonna really make it easier, we should unlock this with another trivia.
If I'm giving you trivia, and this one's for all the marbles, then you really got to work for it. You're going to tell me, you're going to match up as many dragon riders and their dragons as you can.
Oh, no.
In the next Charlotte, 30 seconds. And of course, like some riders have,
Yeah, there's
dragons
some
have
multiples, yeah.
multiples, so you're
I
allowed
can definitely
to
do a few. I know a few.
You're allowed to do multiples. Okay, let's see if you can get to 5.
All right.
Timer starts now.
All right. I know Daemon rides, is it Caraxes, right?
That's one.
That's the one with the long neck.
That's one.
Aemon rides the big one. Is that Vagar? The really big one?
Aemon, yes.
Aemon, yeah, with a D.
Aemon, yep. That's two.
I know Aegon the second, Alicent's firstborn, is Sunfire.
Yes, that's 3.
The other ones, I can't remember who
What is
Rhaenyra
Rhaenyra
rides.
rides?
Yeah, I forget hers. Is it like Syrax?
There you go. One more. We're just going to pretend it's fine.
Well, technically Viserys, he rode Balerion, right?
There you go. That's 5.
Nice.
Before he died.
Yeah, before he died. Yeah, I remember that one. Nice.
That's 5.
All right. Yeah, we could
You
summon.
get your power up.
All right. Old Knight something. Isfan. Let's see what you got, Mr. Knight. Help us out. Because I think... Oh, sorry. I think also this fight, you kind of like have to... It's like a mob, so I think they're trying to help you out. There's a couple of these demon...
You're saying it's easy. This is not looking easy to me. I'm
Made it easier. Oh, God.
It's easy,
Oh,
he
get out of
says.
here. Get out of the corner. No.
It's easy, he says.
Let him do the work. I feel like I have to get rid of... No, stop chasing me. Oh, actually, I'm doing decent damage.
Ah, that doesn't seem good. It doesn't seem good when they rear up like that.
Oh, God. Where's my guy? Help me.
He's right there.
Oh, there you go. Do something. Oh, mercy.
I'm scared.
Yeah, this guy's... He's pretty active. Oh. Oh, he stunned him. Oh, never mind. All right, yeah, this is definitely more manageable. Oh. No. Oh, that was him that died. I thought it was me. All right, there's one more lurking around here, though. Thankfully, he didn't attack us while we were...
Demi-human sheep.
Oh, look at him. He's hanging out back here.
Do you lose your summoner, though?
I think he's still around. Yeah,
Oh, there he is. Oh, look at him go.
He's doing pretty well, too. He's got a lot of
Look
health.
at him go.
I'm
Go help him.
I'm going to hang back.
Go help him.
I'll take care of these guys. Yeah, so he doesn't... Ooh, mercy. No, go away. All right, here we go. Now it's a fair fight. Yeah, do that. It's a good attack. Oh, got the backstab in. It's good stuff.
You can't supervise a boss battle.
I feel good about this. Oh, thank God. All right.
All right.
Ooh,
Enemy
got tailoring
felled.
tools.
Sewing needle. Ooh, cute. Fun.
Yeah, you can alter some of your garments.
See, I feel like that, now that I know that, that's the only thing that I would play this game to do.
There is some really good drip in this game. I mean, it's a huge game, but as you play it, you like unlock all these different armor sets and stuff, so you can get creative with your look, which is kind of cool.
Who's that guy?
Yeah, these are more of these demi-human guys. I'm just
Again, you are in their home.
Yeah, I know. I'm just trying to get out of here. Just passing through. This is like the turnpike. See, yeah, this actually opens us up in this like island, and there's this church here that gives you fancy dragon powers.
By all means, get us our fancy dragon powers.
But one thing I forgot is that you do need to kill a dragon to unlock, to like have the powers.
That seems like a big thing to forget, Jonathan.
Yeah. Before we do that, why don't we like really like power up our character?
All right.
I feel like
Yeah.
let's do one more trivia real quick.
What do you got?
This is another family tree.
Oh boy.
So there it is.
All right.
Name the missing person.
Okay, so we've got Rhaenyra and Laenor's kids now. And so you've got Jacaerys on here, or Jace. You've got Joffrey. And so in the middle would be Lucerys or Luke.
Ding, ding. Good job. There you go. All right, thank God. We can level up. All right, that will definitely make the dragon fight a little bit easier. I'm gonna upgrade like everything. So we got a golden seed, that's good. We got a sacred tear, which gives us like more boost when we drink.
All right, these are things that I know what are.
And then leveling up, I feel like with our weapon, looks like it scales with strength. Oh man, we only
Do we
have.
think? I don't know.
And
I feel like he's like, all right.
Oh, that's just like in the game. This sword, yeah. But yeah, he's more of like a fast kind of
Right,
person,
that's what
right?
I was
More
going to
cunning.
say. I feel like
Yeah,
it's like
I can see that.
dexterity is really the...
That's true, yeah. Maybe we should
thing
kind of
there.
start. And I feel like Dark Sister is more of like a light sword.
Yeah, that's fair.
What do you gotta do? So let's warp here. I'm gonna see if I can take care of this dragon.
Wee, that was fun. Oh,
Yeah, I
your
like how
horse.
you can just zap your horse, just
Where
kind of
does
like
he go?
materializes. He's called like a spectral steed, so he's kind of like a ghostly
okay, yes,
figure.
you did
Yeah.
say that. Correct.
It's fine. There's a lot to remember. All right. Forget where the dragon. Oh, I think the dragon like invades this campfire. It's pretty big. You can see how it compares to. Oh my
there
god.
he is.
Hope it
Oh,
doesn't-
okay.
It's a pretty big one. Oh, good lord.
Yeah, that's like... That's like
Just whittle at
Valerian.
it.
That's Valerian.
Whittle at its feet, like a coward. Yeah, this definitely seems like
Style.
full. I don't know. You think he'd be? I think he might not be as big as like Valerian
Vagar?
or Vega.
maybe?
Yeah,
Not as big as Vagar?
At least in the. Oh, don't go up there.
Oh, I guess, yeah, when he stands on that, like, rock, maybe he's not as big as... When he's coming
Yeah.
at you, he looks pretty
Yeah,
big.
Vagar. They made him like gigantic in the show. He's almost like Godzilla.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Why did he go up there? He's got the high ground. I don't like this. Oh
His
dear.
little talons.
Oh my god.
He's so cute. I'm having fun.
Oh dear. He's doing the old tail whip.
Oh, if I was, I was like, I feel like standing like outside of a dragon's mouth is like not a place you want to be.
This damn dragonfly is annoying me. Get out of there.
That seems like, I think you're too far.
Why is he going up there? This is causing problems.
Yeah,
Oh
I think,
no, don't do that.
I was like, I think anytime when you were in like,
Oh,
stay
dear.
behind his mouth.
He's trying to step on me. I don't like being up here. It's precarious.
Well, I think any part of the situation is going to be
he got
precarious.
like a
so.
third of his health.
Yeah, you're
away.
not doing. You're actually
Oh
not
my
doing
God.
that bad. Can you even outrun that? Oh.
I feel like that fire might kill me immediately. A little
So do
scary.
I. So do I.
Did I equip that? I did equip that fire negation thing, so maybe that'll save us if it comes down to it.
Yeah, just keep hitting his ankles.
I'm trying to hit him in his
Why are
fat
you-
head. Oh,
You're getting like way too big for your britches.
I'm getting ambitious.
Yeah.
Oh, oh, he almost bit me. Oh, wait, something happened.
I
Ah!
would move. I simply would move.
Where'd he go? Oh, there he is. No, I'm over here.
Why
Oh,
would you
dear.
say that? Why would you say that?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Daemon is something of a dragon tamer, right? There's that
What's
scene where
that?
he's.
What
Oh,
was
that was like a
that?
big
Is
crab.
that a crab?
Oh god.
Oh, I hate that.
It's pretty horrible, yeah. Ignore the crab for now, yeah. Ooh.
You mean ignore the crab for now?
Oh, go away, go away. Oh god. I don't like when he's up here. This becomes
I
platform.
feel like when he's up there, he can't really like.
Ah!
Oh
No,
well,
no. Oh, that was close. All right. I feel like I have to do this now.
We to do what?
Kill him.
Oh, okay. Well,
Oh, don't do that. No, no.
well.
No.
Well, you can't.
Right.
You simply can't climb up that mountain.
Oh dear. He killed a bunch of other things.
You ride towards the danger. If I was you, I would.
There's
yeah.
a method.
Just stay behind him. Hit those ankles.
Oh dear. No, no, no. Doesn't have the best aim with that fire, thankfully. Oh god.
He heard you.
Oof.
I'm telling
Oh
you.
no.
Getting all fancy. You can't see where
Oh,
he is if you're behind him.
Where did he go? How did I lose him? Oh, there he is. Oh, this again.
You got it. No. Okay. I will say, yeah, he doesn't redirect quickly, and that's nice for you.
Yeah.
Which I guess makes sense. Like, how quickly can a dragon move?
Oh dear. I don't like when he does that. Oh, I don't like when he does that.
Where is he?
crap.
Oh, okay.
He tried to stomp me.
Whee! All right, you're almost there.
Oh crap. No! Oh, that was close. Oh, not again. Oh no, don't go up there, please. Alright. Yeah, the stomp is easy to dodge. Ooh,
I
he's
feel
almost
like
dead.
it's not one of those things where he like sort of gains more power as he knows that he's dying, because I do hate those kind of boss
Oh
fights.
yeah, where
That
there's
drives
like
me
a
nuts.
second phase. Oh, I killed him, thank God. Whew. That took a lot out of me.
Great enemy felled. Success.
Oh, and we got a dragon heart, which we can use to
New draconic power.
use our
Fun.
dragon powers. All right,
Look
let's
at our
zip
boy.
on
There
over
he is.
to our church. Ah. All right,
You right?
I'm all right. Yeah.
All right.
All right. So, shall we try the boss now? Getting
That
towards the
wasn't
end of the
it.
scream.
I thought
No,
that was
no,
it.
he wasn't the one. There's one more. Sorry.
Jesus. All right.
One more. Well,
All
we
right.
won't. If I can't do it first or
No,
second
let's
try,
do it. No,
we'll,
this is what we came here for.
All right. We do have to get there though, so I'm gonna hop on my horse. It's this like little area called the Weeping Peninsula, which is I think it's called that because it's always raining. But yeah, gonna zip over there. So is there anything going on? Is there anything like you're looking forward to in season 2? Not like spoilery territory, but just like in terms of like how they're gonna like approach it, and things like that you're excited about.
I'm really excited about the continuation of the character building. Like, I know obviously we're here talking a lot about Daemon today. I think what happens with him going forward, and less about like what like the chronology of his storyline is, but really just about the way that this character is structured and seeing how he balances his loyalty for family and loyalty for Rhaenyra with like, I mean, he's still who he is. He's still like a man with a lot of like self-interest.
Yeah.
And so seeing how they sort of like thread that needle of his character, I think is really interesting. I also think exactly what you're saying about like how they continue to sort of build lore around Alicent. And even, yeah, and just like sort of like the continuation of like, you know, like I think they did a really good job with Rhaenyra, but I do think I would like to see some more development of Alicent and just like seeing their relationship as they go like toe to toe with each other. I'm down for some more dragon battle. I'm always down for a dragon battle.
Yeah.
So
yeah, especially since the way they ended the last season with that whole like sequence, that was honestly I thought that was one of the coolest things in all the
oh my god
adaptations they've done so far.
Just the scale of it.
Yeah,
it was just
Yeah, I love that shot where you're like you see the one dragon from like underneath, and then like the lightning flashes, and you just see that giant shadow behind him.
It was actually terrifying.
Yeah, that like reminded me of like Jurassic Park.
Yeah,
almost. It was that was really good. Yeah, I think there's going to be a lot more of that coming up, like just in terms of like dragon on dragon combat, crime. But yeah, I agree. Definitely interested to see them flesh out more characters. I'm interested particularly too with like, so I think in the first season, Viserys kind of felt like the moral kind of center of the show.
Yeah.
And I thought they did a really good job of like fleshing his character out.
Constantine.
Yeah, he was awesome. And now I'm interested to see like where do you go from there since he's gone? Like who kind of assumes that role, right? Does it become more like of an ensemble type of story, or do you still have kind of like a center to like orient the viewer? I'm curious if they maybe try and make Rhaenyra that person, or maybe Daemon.
I don't. I mean, I can't say for certain. I don't think quite yet. Like, I do think it's a vacuum, right? And that's how we end up in this situation in which we're going to have these two warring factions. I think is precisely that, because it's like we don't have that centering character, and that's how everything sort of like falls into chaos.
That is true, yeah. Another thing I'm interested to see is these characters called the Dragon Seeds.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about? They're like Valerian bastards.
There's
a few of them.
Was one of them Laenor's like bastard son?
I think their parentage is kind of like not clear.
Okay.
But that's definitely probably one theory, though. I'm sure.
That out.
Ooh, there's a delicious golden seed that'll help the cause.
Yeah, and I also think I'm interested to see what they do with some of the retconning they set up in season 1. So, for instance, like Harold Westerling is not dead. And he should be.
Oh, he was like the commander of the Kingsguard, right?
And now it's Christian Cole. He should be.
Yeah, he just like, what does he just get, like tuberculosis or something? He dies in a kind of like uneventful way, doesn't he?
Yeah. In the book, yes. And
in the book, yeah.
He resigned, so he's not dead.
Yeah,
and the same thing with Laenor Valerian. Like, they Gendry him. They just like let him row away. Yeah. And so I think that he will at some point, because obviously, you know what I mean? Like all of his family is going to be in peril. I think he'll come back.
I wonder too, because I feel like they did that to try and make you more sympathetic towards Rhaenyra. Because in the book, it's not clear what happens to him, but it's implied that Daemon kills him.
Had someone kill him, and like they found his body in like Spice Town or whatever.
I feel like if they did that in the show, you might have had like a little bit more antagonism towards Rhaenyra.
Okay. So you don't think we're gonna see him again? You think that man is gonna go live his best life?
I don't think it's a definite. I don't think it's a definite. I could see him like not coming back.
Okay, I would love that.
I hope he does come back though, because I think that'll add an interesting dynamic.
Yeah.
And how does he? Because I guess technically that was like a gift to him, right? Because he always wanted to just do his own thing and be an adventurer. All right, so we're in this castle that's been overrun by these servants that are kind of like. They're sort of like those demi-humans. They have like feathered wings. But yeah, our boss is at the end of this. Don't worry. It's a pretty short hike.
Okay.
Another thing I wanted to ask you, is there any way you think that this conflict could have been avoided?
I was thinking about that. I mean, even in like rewatching, so I was rewatching the episode where Viserys dies last night.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like screaming at my TV because it's so funny to watch Alicent like fill in his words. Because he's like, he's the one. And she was like, you mean Alicent? And I was like, he did.
Yeah, I'm like,
not Alicent. He was like, you mean Aegon?
Did he say that? Did he?
I don't think he said that. So, I mean, yeah, I think, like, maybe, like, her making less inferences would have been good for everyone. But I think that's, like, sort of the beauty of the show is, like, they sort of, like, bring about their own undoing. And they're never gonna stop doing it. Because it's, like, always, like, even in Game of Thrones, it's, like, you know what I mean? It's, like, we're constantly, like... you know what I mean? Doing things to try to either bring about or not bring about prophecies, and then you kind of, or you know what I mean? What you think is going to happen, and then like in doing that, like really, like they are constantly their own worst enemies. And so I don't even, you know, and it's so, I think it's so innate to the way that, don't like that, what, I hate that. I don't know what that is.
Little blob, man. I don't even know what that is. Just like
yeah, but I think it's just so, it just is so telling about maybe the way that George R.R. Martin like thinks about characters and thinks about the human condition, that it's like really hard to say that like, okay, like if they just got out of their own way, but like that's the whole thing, they're never going to.
Yeah, I kind of feel the same way. And I think that's what makes the story very good, is it does feel kind of inevitable.
Yeah.
And even though, especially in season 1, like, you know, the characters are trying to be like peaceful a lot of the time. But there's always like some reason, there's some sticking point that prevents them from going all the way. Like even when Alicent is like kind of willing to just let Rhaenyra succeed and have her thing, I think it's really clever where they have Otto kind of plant the seed that, you know, her reign is going to be contested regardless of whether you let her or not. And because it's contested, she's going to kill your children.
Yeah. Yes.
And once he says that and he plants that seed, she basically has no choice.
There was no going back for her. You're
and I
so
thought
right.
that made sense, yeah. Yeah. I kind of think there was no peaceful path, unfortunately.
Who's that rat man?
Oh yeah, it's Big Rat. Yeah, I don't like those.
What do you mean it's Big Rat?
Snuck up on me. There's actually even better one, but try to avoid it. All right, I did hit that grace though, thankfully, so we can respawn right there. All right, so this is the last grace before the boss. Let me quickly zap over to this guy, because I think I could sell some stuff, and maybe that'll give us enough runes. Sell a couple of these. All right, there we go.
Needs a smith and stone.
Now
Not
we can
me.
whip out our dragon powers. There we go.
Whee.
Dragon fire. And I also have to equip my... Oh, I already have my talisman. All right, you ready?
As ready as I'm going to be.
Here it is. Here's your dragon power. Oh, wrong button. There we go.
Oh, fun.
Nice.
What's
Oh, did
the
I burn
matter
him?
with
Oh,
you?
I didn't mean to do that. Oh, sorry.
No,
I burned his
you made
mule.
Santa mad.
Oh, I pissed him off. All right. I'm sorry about that. He's not dead, though.
I love how he was just like, what is wrong with you? It's a good question.
All right. Well, let's go give a go at this final boss, shall we? All right. All right, this boss is pretty hard, but we'll see how it goes. I think if we beat that dragon, this should be a little comparable. And maybe if I'm really feeling myself for style points, I'll try to kill him with the dragon fire. So all those like servants that were rebelling, he's kind of like the head of them.
Okay.
So this is gonna be
Wait, so we're trying to like quell a rebellion? I don't
sort
know
of,
if I like
yeah.
that, Jonathan.
They were like, well, not. I mean, everything in this world is like undead. So when you kill stuff, they kind of like respawn. So it's kind of
Okay, but like I just think like maybe if they're revolting, they have a point. Like
that's fair.
I haven't
yeah.
been filled in on the political implications.
That
of
is
this.
true. They probably have some legitimate grievances.
That's what I'm saying. Oh, he's fast.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Oh god.
He moves a lot faster than a dragon.
Oh dear.
Oh. I don't know. You're getting a good bite out of him. Whee!
Ooh, that was good.
Whee! Oh.
All right,
How do you get your sword back? Oh. All right. Well, hit him while he's down.
Yeah, it's always a good strategy.
Ah!
Oh mercy.
Tell me the way. I just.
Yeah, don't touch me.
Just stomp on me?
Oh. Oh dear. Well, I shouldn't have done that.
Oh, well, okay. I just don't think you have the time for the things that you're planning. Oh, okay.
Oh!
Well,
So close. Well, we gave it a good try.
sure did.
Halfway through. What do you think? We have time for one more, Charlotte? Or one more round?
If you die like that fast.
All right. I'm going to take that as a challenge. I'm going to also cheat a little bit and summon some help.
That sounds right.
We have some dogs. Daemon, not sure how much of a pet person he is.
I'm gonna guess not very.
Release the hounds. Hopefully they can distract him enough so I can...
Wolves?
Oh, go away.
Well, okay, so at this point, at the point we are at in the season,
There we go.
the blacks are currently trying to convince. Oh, he's killing your wolves. They're trying to convince the Starks to be their ally.
Oh, yeah.
So maybe it makes sense that you have your little wolves.
Oh, that's true, yeah. Little direwolf.
Yeah, they're not doing very well.
I just mostly want them to
So
distract
you
him.
brought a wolf to a broadsword fight.
Oh, that was good. Needed that. All right, we're, I think, a little farther along than we were last time.
Sure, just stay on the other side of that sword.
Kill him. Ooh. Ooh.
I almost out of warps.
Oh my god.
Oh, jeez.
Oh. That was clutch.
All right.
Oh, he's almost dead. One more hit.
See, I feel
Oh,
like
thank God.
Oh, there you go.
The wolves got us over the hump. Look at that.
A
So-
grafted blade greatsword.
All right, so let's
Ooh,
take
okay,
a
that's got
closer
like a
look at it
fun-
so you can see what we're talking about here. Where'd it go?
That's got like a fun cross guard on it.
Yeah,
I know
so-
sword things.
Yeah, so if you kind of see, does it remind you of
Oh.
anything in the show, maybe, or in the Game of Thrones lore?
I
Just
mean,
like the way it looks.
yeah, I mean, it sort of does it not look like the Iron Throne in the way that the
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it has that like grafted
Yeah.
like sword kind of look to
Yeah.
it. So yeah, that's it's not like official, but a lot of people have speculated that that's
okay.
like a
Honestly,
Game
I
of
forgot why
Thrones
we were here.
Easter egg. So there you go.
Oh yeah, that is pretty cool. I don't know how practical that would be as a weapon.
Yeah, well, we could try to equip it, see how it looks. It's a little hefty. I don't know if it's Daemon's taste, but
Feels like a lot. Feels a little
it's
ostentatious.
a little ambitious.
Jesus,
All right, well, we did it.
you did it.
We did it. That was
Nice.
stressful, but it was a little touch and go there, but I'm glad we did it. And yeah, what do I want to say to sign off in this video? We hope you enjoy the upcoming season of House of the Dragon.
Yeah, let us know what you think in the comments.
Yeah, totally. Take care.